think when Maya Angelou wrote the poem Phenomenal Woman, she had the next guest in mind because she blows my mind. She's like a quiet storm that rests out there peacefully. And when you ask her about poetry, she was like, yeah, I know a little something, something. But then when that something, something opened her mouth, it was like they dropped bombs, the bombs that were similar to the ones that were dropped on Pearl Harbor, but hers were all bombs of words and poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, please, please welcome to the stage Sister Jahlani. Hey, Jahlani.
Peace and blessings. How are they gone?
Wa alaikum salam, sis. It is such a beautiful thing to see you in your hazy blue. I know this is going to be awesome because you got the ambiance going back there. You have the curly hair. Girl, I'm ready to hear some work. What's up?
Okay, so I have a few pieces for y'all tonight, straight from the heart.
Okay, so Jahlani, you know what? They need to know that you and Sister Shelly were features this evening. We kind of get mushed in with the other artists that come up, but the two people that are allowed to share a little bit more than some of our other lady poets this evening, this month, were Sister Jahlani, who is present now on the stage, and Sister Shelly, who came up. Ajay, the poet, came up earlier in the evening. Sister Jahlani, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before you get started?
Sure. So I'm Jahlani. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm a singer. I'm a poet. I just have lived through so much and witnessed so much trauma in my life that I had to take that pain and put it into my poetry, and it kept me sane. There were times when I felt like I was going to explode if I didn't express myself in my work. So I dedicated my time to really learning how to feel my emotions, because I feel as though there are times in the Black community where you're told by your parents, don't feel that way. I'll give you something to cry about. Why are you feeling this? And you feel such a sense of shame and guilt about feeling the way that you do. So I like to hold space for Black children, for Black youth, for Black mothers, to come and do breath work with me. I hold breath work sessions, I hold meditation sessions, I teach yoga, I teach dance, and I like to hold that space where anything you feel here is okay. It's
Great.
Okay to love. So
I'm sorry.
Thank you for having me.
I cut people off all the time. I'm so rude. I'm sorry if I cut you off. I didn't mean to do that. If you take a long pause, that's my signal to start talking. I just can't shut up. But at any rate, Jahlani, I'm getting off the stage and I'm allow the people to get used to or get introduced to what I already know. Fabulous, fabulous poetry, Sister Jahlani.
Thank you. This piece is called Trigger Warning, Mama Wound, Baba Wound. Mama Wound. I am boy, child, baby boy, man, child. You're just like your fucking father. Ain't shit ass, bitch ass nigga. I'ma give you something to cry about. Words a son received from his mother. His kind, nurturing, loving mother moon, lost in the depth of her wounds. Her hands slammed into his face, telling him it's for his own good to keep him out of trouble and in his place. He thinks it's because every time she looks into his deep brown eyes, she is reminded of the man who sold her lies, the man who left her on her own to run across the country, the man who abandoned her to raise 3 kids, all on her own, while the very same man clung to the rock and the illusions it sold, while his mother was barely full grown. His mama loved him. His Umi loves him, this he knows. My Umi says, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. My Umi says, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. So he knows that she tried, she did her very best with what she had, but maybe deep inside, she was just a girl with parents that fucked up too, though that's hard to grasp. And he's just the boy trying to grow beyond the confines of his mind, of a broken home, a violent childhood, absent father and neglectful mother. Still, every time I see a bitch, I mean woman, I can't help but project the image of my mother onto her and how she used to smack me, love me, cuss me, hug me. I try to tie this woman into the mother I wish I had, projecting petty insecurities, picking at her like a scab. I call my woman out her name because I feel so bad. Heaps of inequities and injustices sit upon my head, try to keep me buried under rubble. My own knifes and fears entrench me in trouble. Still, I am a boy who dreams of life in the light, waiting patiently for my time to shine. Using this passionate heart of mine to reemerge into the present after being lost in time. No place to express my rage, my sorrow, my pain. They said no child left behind, yet here I am in the rain. I feel misplaced, erased, degraded, like my neck is stepped upon. Like I got something to prove, nothing to lose, desperate and ready to pawn my most valuable shit to pay my rent. I'm trying to open up the cage I found my heart encased in. I told myself my emotions are natural. And it's okay to cry. I don't know if I believe that yet because it sounds like a lie. I'm trying to find somewhere safe to reveal them, to feel them, because they say that's the only way to heal them. Letting go of the hate I felt toward my mama, trying to forgive myself for perpetuating drama. Acknowledging that I have the internal strength to overcome any trauma. I came home and I asked myself, what do I really want from this blessed life? I am a God, wholly responsible for my choices and divine. As I heal the mama wound, how can I use love to rise? Baba wound. I am girl, child, baby girl, half-grown woman, fast as, she got daddy issues. Her daddy wasn't in her life. She don't know how to act. Close your legs, young lady. Words a daughter received from the world that was trying to stop her from being yet another broken girl. They told her, keep it tight. Why would he buy the cow when he could get the milk for free? Shoving antiquated gender roles down her throat as she cried for liberty. Her father had left at 5 years old. The call of the rock had a hold on his soul. Cast in darkness like the stormy rain, chaos engulfed their family in pain. Moving here and there, never really settling anywhere. Concrete like a heavy anchor tried to weigh her down. Voices in her head tried to keep her from making a sound. Shut the fuck up. Suffer in silence. This is your penance. You deserve the violence. The storm raged for a while and then got real quiet. Still, she ached for her father who left her in this emotional riot. Looking for love in all the wrong places, egos and illusions causing her to fall from grace's placements, full of rage and hatred for every man she trusted who betrayed it. The first one, her father, then her brothers, then lovers. She's well aware of the scars that cover her broken teenage dreams and promises sometimes smother her. I wonder how my father would have taught me how to deal with men. If he would have taught me math, and how to wield my pen like a sword to cut away the demons that try to grasp me at my core, telling me my body, my energy isn't mine or isn't beautiful, not in so many words. Greedy, wanting to take more, forced into situations that made me grow. Because karma taught me you reap what you sow. I feel alone like no man will ever truly love me for me. I used to fuck some niggas just for the company because I thought they could save me. I didn't know I was only misbehaving, feeding the wrong cravings, depraved thinking from the darkness within me, which I brought to the light to create balance, filling my chalice with self-worth and love, compassion and kindness, always knowing I am enough. I am a goddess in my flyness, infinitely abundant I am, and I rise with the righteous. Within the synchronicity and harmony of the rhythm of my soul, I found the greatest treasure. As I heal the Baba wound, I embrace all of me. My pain, my lessons, my flaws, my fuck-ups, my bliss, my light, my pleasure. Thank you. And that is that piece. And I have another one to share as well. A little more. I'm gonna bring y'all back down because I know that's a deep, heavy piece. Excuse me, y'all. I need some water. Hold on. Alhamdulillah. Whew. I come from starships with ancient tongues that wrap syllables around earth like silk. Maybe it sounded like the beautiful language of Arabi, like أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. God, I seek refuge from the evils of the devil. In the name of the Most High God, the most beneficent, the merciful. A prayer evoked by Muslims and non-Muslims, Arabs and non-Arabs alike, all around the world we live in. A prayer of protection and togetherness of the people who pray it. The tongue must be alive to wrap its way around these syllables, full of life and flexible. The living word wraps around you in fragile prayer, sensitive and graceful. Maybe it sounded like the ancient language of Gurmukhi, the Sikh people, subtle and grounded while stretching up to the divine in the sky. A calling to the creative energy in the cosmos, raising up the Shakti in our spines, bowing to the subtle consciousness and opening to receive our higher nature, asking the darkness within to be brought to the light within, diving into endless, boundless ocean with a heart full of devotion. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo Ad Gure Name Jugar Gure Name Sad Gure Name Sri Guru Dev Name. A soothing tone of universal frequencies. I come from starships with ancient tongues that wrap syllables around earth like silk. That's that piece. And I do have one more. I can keep sharing. Let's see what's feeling. What wants to be heard right now? What wants to be heard? Okay. Before I share the last piece, I just want to say thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you. I have felt transient all my life. Spiritual nomad by nature. The silly rules try to box me in and change my behavior. It never works though. I always come home to me. I let go. I reclaim my liberty. I was so afraid of the eyes peering around me, of being perceived, so afraid of rejection that I couldn't be me. I almost rejected myself, my inner child, my purest self, my most innocent self, my most joyful self. I almost rejected her and let her go. And she is and always will be my first priority. She has held on to the core of me when I felt so lost in the forest, alone, when I felt like I was drowning in the oceans. As we've moved through all the walks of life, through traumas and dramas and shame and strife, I've held on to her. And I'm so grateful that she has held on to her curious nature. She continues to ask questions, to want more from life, to wonder, what if there is something more? What if magic is real? What if there's great joy in this world? What if you are light? She held on to her heart. She held on to her first dreams, the one she had in her mother's womb, in her mother's womb, she held on. And she held on to a lot that she kept bottled up inside, alone in her room, just sitting up in my room, dreaming, thinking about you. I must confess, I'm feeling kind of blue. I'm feeling kind of blue and kind of brand new. Like a little baby bird that got kicked out of mama's nest way too soon, but I gotta learn to use my wings to fly and to rise on the ocean tide while my spirit is revived and reborn and refreshed. Knowing that the exile of the inner child is unfounded. And I'm allowed to express these feelings. I'm allowed. And I've been transient all my life. No beggar, not homeless. I'm a nomad, and I've traveled the lands, spreading light and love when I barely had any light and love to give. Because God told me to. Because God told me to love. Fi sabilillah, in the name of God, to spread that light, to spread that love, to be a mercy and to be a grace in this world. Okay, thank you.
Whew, Jahlani, you just took us all over everywhere with your work, with your voice, with your poems. There were lots of comments in the chat. Most of them were saying they loved your voice. They loved the way that you were transparent about your experiences, which came out, shown throughout every piece that you presented this evening. Tell us a little bit about at least one of the pieces. Which one that you presented tonight was actually your favorite?
My favorite is the one that has Arabic in the Gurmuti, so the one where I pray. Because every time I speak Arabic, it's like water is being poured on my heart. So
Yes.
it's soothing for me. So that's my favorite. So I wrote this piece when I was by the ocean, and I was feeling like deeply connected to all there is because it was a strawberry moon that night. And I was sitting on the ocean, and the moon was right in the sky. It was this beautiful red color, and the stars were just twinkling all around it. The ocean was coming up, and I felt the ocean pushing me back and forth. And it's like when you feel that feeling, it's like a drum beat gets started inside of you, and you feel a rhythm, and you just have to write, and you just start to just spread it out. So I spread that out, and I read it to myself first, and it's just soothing. Like just hearing the tones of Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's like it's soothing. That's what I.
Well, it was very beautiful, and I wanted to know for my own edification, how many languages do you actually know?
So I understand Arabic and from reading Quran when I was a child because my mother, she became Muslim when I was 9 years old. She met my stepfather. So I speak a little bit of Arabic. I understand a little Gurmukhi, a little Hindi, a little Urdu, a little Spanish, a little Korean, a little Japanese.
I sensed that. I sensed that in some of the poems that you presented this evening. I was like, this girl, that tongue is all over. It's international. I could hear that. Yeah, it was expressed beautifully, and I'm not the only one out there that enjoyed it. The comments in the Facebook Live were blowing up, not only for your work, but your cadence, the way that you presented it, and we appreciate you here on When Women Speak. Now, ladies and gentlemen out there, if you would like to hear more of Jahlani is also going to do a couple of feature pieces on our sister show, When People Speak. So you can tune in to that on the last Thursday of this month, because Jahlani will make another appearance there, and she will share some pieces, and maybe we can find out more about this lovely young lady, this lovely poet. And she will also, I know it, I'm just speaking for her. I know she'll be back in July to share more of her work right here on When Women Speak. Am I wrong, Jahlani, or am I correct in thinking that?
You're absolutely correct because I enjoy just hearing all the other women and being able to hear their stories and then being able to share my work. So I'll be back. Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. And I'm thanking you, and I am most grateful for you being a part of June's edition of When Women Speak. So, Jahlani, I'll see you on When People Speak. That's very soon. Talk to you
Thank
later.